Welcome to Hello Downtown, a podcast by Downtown Sioux Falls.
This is Hello Downtown, the podcast where we explore the people, the places, and the pulse of our city's core. I'm your host, Brandon Hansen, and every episode we dive into the stories shaping life in the heart of Sioux Falls. So whether you're downtown every day or just downtown at heart, let's jump in. Well, Jim Mathis is joining us on this week's episode of Hello Downtown. He is the founder and CEO of AdWorks and dedicated advocate and lover of the arts in Sioux Falls. He's also the world's first advertologist.
Certified advertologist.
Never heard of that. I believe it. It's on the sheet in front of me. So
yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I believe it means that you help grow brands through storytelling.
I do. That is exactly what I do.
The simplest version?
But I just needed a fun title one day, so I dreamt that up and decided that I was the world's first and
I love
only
it.
certified advertologist.
It's kind of like Brandon Hansen the first.
Right.
There is no second, but
no, that's okay.
I love it.
Details, right?
I love it. If you are creating a program and need a second, I will
All right.
sign up.
Sounds good.
Well, if that weren't enough, I could probably go on and on, but you're also the author of Love, Death, and Pizza.
Love, Death, and Pizza. Yes, it's a wonderful book. It's about love and death and pizza.
That's it, folks.
Yeah,
we're done.
There you have it. It's available at downtown retailers like Zanbros and the Co-op bookstore, and Rose and Eugene Presents.
Yeah, go check out it. It's really great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, well, welcome. Thank you for being on the show. And if that weren't all enough, we're not actually talking about any of that. You are here today to talk about SculptureWalk, a really important program in our city.
Yes, something I am passionate about. I've been involved since almost the very beginning.
Tell us about your involvement.
So when the very first SculptureWalk got installed and I saw an article in the newspaper about it, that was, back when everybody got the newspaper delivered and everything, I thought, what a cool program. So I came downtown, I looked at it, said, I love this. And it was too late to sponsor for that year, but I sent a check just to say, hey, I want to support this. So of course, the next year, Jim Clark, who was the founder of SculptureWalk, called and said, hey, would you like to sponsor? Absolutely. And we've been sponsoring as AdWorks ever since and just absolutely love it. And at the time, we didn't have an office downtown. We ended up moving downtown shortly after that. And we had the building at near 5th and Main, the old standard
right in the corner.
Garage. Yeah.
Still a member. Not physically in downtown, but
not physically in downtown.
A lot of work down here. Yeah. So SculptureWalk is now, I know it just celebrated a 25th year. 23rd. We're getting close to the 25th year.
Yeah. And we're trying to figure out what are we going to do to celebrate that big milestone, 25 years. I don't know. We'll have to come up with some ideas.
Well, maybe if someone's listening, they can put some comments in on wherever they're listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us some ideas.
Yep.
That's great. Well, can you just maybe give us some insight? If there's someone new to Sioux Falls or to SculptureWalk, can you just describe what SculptureWalk is? What does it take to bring 80 new sculptures to downtown every year?
Yeah. So SculptureWalk, for the uninformed, is an outdoor art gallery. Think about going to your favorite museum and seeing 80 beautiful sculptures of all different genres, but you don't have to go, to a stuffy museum. You see them right on the streets of downtown Sioux Falls. And, most of the time, if you're at a museum, it's hands off. You don't dare touch. You can actually touch the sculptures and, be gentle with them. We don't want to damage, but you can touch the sculptures and take pictures with them and interact with them. We want you to do that. The mission for SculptureWalk, our mission statement, is simply art to the people. And that's really what we do. We're trying to bring art out of the gallery, put it on the streets, make it really accessible to everybody. There's no price for admission. There's, whether you're young or old or differently abled, it doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome to participate in SculptureWalk.
Amazing.
So, and to follow up on your question about what does it take to put 80 sculptures in downtown Sioux Falls, and Brandon, you have been involved in SculptureWalk for a while as well.
I buried the lead a little bit.
So you know the amount of work it takes, but it starts the 1st of August. We send out our call for entries to artists really all across the U.S. and North America and beyond. And we get in, last year, I think we had about 200 submissions. And from that, we have to choose 80. So we do a blind jury process where we get 12 people in a room and we show them a photo of the work of art. In some cases, it's a finished piece. Some cases, it's a work in progress. And some cases, we'll see like a sketch. I mean, seriously look like
hand drawn,
yeah. Like bar napkin kind of idea. And they'll tell us what the materials are and roughly the size and those kinds of things. And we give everything a numerical number, and the top 80 pieces get selected. And we always select a handful of alternatives as well, just in case an artist would happen to sell something before we do the installation. So that is happening, that selection process is happening in October. Then between then in May, we have to put together this giant 3-dimensional puzzle of which pieces are going to go where. And you want it to be thoughtful. So you have complementary pieces. You want pieces on a pedestal that they will fit well. And then there's always some surprises that show up on, that first weekend in May, and a piece shows up and it's way bigger than we expected or way smaller than we expected. And we shuffle some things around, but it's lots of fun. And, as you do SculptureWalk like this year, you'll see some of the thought that goes into that, really like starting at, the 12th Street Plaza and heading north on Phillips, you'll see 2 pieces kind of on either side of the street that are both bright yellow. Well, that's intentional. And that really kind of helps. I think that just kind of welcomes you to that part of SculptureWalk. And then down on the corner by the diner there, on one corner, you've got a cassette tape that is kind of unreeling, and the opposite corner is an old school video game controller. And it's like, wow, it's 1987 all over again, right here.
Yeah, it's I've noticed. I've been on the inside of SculptureWalk before. I did previously serve as the executive director of SculptureWalk just after Jim Clark. Wonderful experience, wonderful organization. Just being here at DTSF now, I've noticed just a beautiful connection with beautification in art, walkability, and SculptureWalk. And there just seems to be such incredible cross-pollination between the two organizations.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that SculptureWalk lives, on the streets of downtown Sioux Falls, and your mission is to really drive that foot traffic. People walking up and down the street and looking at sculptures is a great way to drive foot traffic. And then, you're going to stop and have a drink at the Carpenter, or pop into Zambros and do a little shopping while you're wandering and looking at the sculptures. So, it is a really good marriage, I think.
Yeah. Just a quick sidebar back to your career, just around storytelling and advertising, and maybe the connection here. How has that shaped your involvement in public art?
Well, I have been a big fan of art, for a long time. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad would take me to the Des Moines Art Center, and we'd look at the cool sculptures and the cool paintings. And, I've always just had a connection with it. But when I started to get involved with SculptureWalk and really got on the board there, then with the Visual Arts Center at the Washington Pavilion, I started to see really the economic benefit of having art in a community like ours. There's just a multiplier that happens when you have public art. People are coming to town to see it, whether it's in a gallery or a show at the Pavilion or here at the Orpheum or SculptureWalk or the Arc of Dreams. You're going to see that and you're going to spend some more time, and it gives people a reason to slow down and enjoy the city a little bit. And so that economic development aspect really kind of started to get me excited, and has driven my continued involvement is just seeing that this is how we can continue to grow Sioux Falls, and grow Sioux Falls really smartly by bringing things, like the Levitt and the Arc of Dreams, and all of these things just fit together beautifully to make a very vibrant city.
Yeah, it's sort of this little ecosystem that is self-feeding, if you will. And if you start pulling any one of those things out, it starts to not work as smoothly.
Yeah. Could you imagine Sioux Falls, without the Washington Pavilion, without the South Dakota Symphony Orchestra, and, even though the Levitt's only been here a few years, I feel like if you took that away today, it would just leave just this gaping hole, that everybody would just go, where are we going to go see live music now? It just needs to be there.
Yeah. And I think what you're making me think about is that the city's arts and culture plan just dropped, and it spoke a lot about the strength of art in downtown, but also our whole community and just the desire to see more. But it also spoke to art serving an important role with a community's identity. And I think it just has nice parallels with your work in branding and storytelling. Yep. So can you just articulate maybe why SculptureWalk might be viewed as part of our community's brand?
I think it's one of those things become very visible. Tomorrow I'm doing a tour for a group of people from Lincoln, Nebraska, who are coming up here for a corporate retreat. And there's going to be 40 to 50 people, including, spouses and kids. And they want to do SculptureWalk, and they want to, make some time of it. So when they were looking at things to do in Sioux Falls, SculptureWalk kind of popped to the top of the list, and they were like, oh, we want to be involved in that. We want to do that. And now when we look at, any of the materials that Experience Sioux Falls are putting out and those kinds of things, it's like you see a picture of the Arc of Dreams, you see the Statue of David, you see the other sculptures, up and down Phillips Avenue, and it's just become a part of, that fabric of Sioux Falls.
Yeah. And the Arc of Dreams, like you mentioned, it's one of Sioux Falls' most recognizable landmarks. I see it. My wife works for Forward Sioux Falls. They have a little book, and it's on the front of the book. It's anytime AI is trying to build a skyline of Sioux Falls, the Arc is in it. It's in Shields, in a mural. And I don't know that a lot of people realize that SculptureWalk owns the Arc of Dreams.
That's right. Yeah.
It was a massive campaign, fundraising and engineering feat.
When we started it, we thought it would take a year, maybe two. Yeah. And we thought it would cost about $1 million. It wound up taking like 7 years and being about $3 million. But one of the things that we wanted to do with that was really create that icon for Sioux Falls. We just got through, or most of the way through, elections for mayor and city councilors, and you look at the logos that a lot of these people were using. The Arc of Dreams was in there. It has become a symbol of the city, and I think that's a kind of a proud legacy there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we have more elections coming up. Obviously, we got to finish this thing up with all these runoffs, but
Right.
Hopefully that means there's a lot of funding coming into SculptureWalk in the future.
Well, SculptureWalk did a survey for the candidates, and one of the questions we asked was very pointedly about funding for public art, and it was a unanimous support.
Good.
So hopefully that will turn into real dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just before I move on, I just want to make sure people do know that you guys also manage the lighting of the Ark, and people can request that and book that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got an event coming up and you want, to light the Ark in your company colors, or maybe it's a wedding anniversary and you just want to, make it pink for your bride, we can do that.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
If you're engaged and you're a dude.
Yeah. Really, for $500, you could do a lot worse. For nonprofits, we see a lot of nonprofits, especially trying to draw attention to various diseases and things like that. They see that opportunity to light the Ark of Dreams as just a nice little investment, and it gives you a chance to get your group together, take a picture in front of it when it's turned the colors that you want, and it's yours for the night.
Yeah, I also remember just when I was involved, would get either USD or SDSU whenever they're playing each other in some sort of sporting event, calling who can get it faster to get it lit the right color. So we're booking in advance.
Yeah, we ought to think about auctioning that off to them. If
10x the price. Yeah,
right. Absolutely.
It's for the arts.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, most people see the sculptures. That's a very public part of it. There's a big swell of activity, in early May each year. And then does SculptureWalk just go dormant the rest of the year?
It does not. It is, SculptureWalk is up, it's not 52 weeks of the year. To be honest, it's about 50 weeks. We take it down in mid-April, gives us a chance to kind of do maintenance, make things ready for the new sculptures to come the first weekend in May. But, if you come and see SculptureWalk in June or July, it's beautiful. But it's a whole different thing when there's just a little light dusting of snow downtown. And come down at the evening and see kind of how some of these pieces reflect the evening light. And it really it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And SculptureWalk is its own nonprofit organization. You mentioned the mission already. It's got a board of directors. There's just a ton of work going on. What's some of the stuff that people just don't see? We're always looking at how do we make SculptureWalk not necessarily bigger, but better. Next year with part of Phillips Avenue being under construction, we'll need to move some pieces off of Phillips. And we're going to kind of look at that as a chance to reset and think about how do we make SculptureWalk the best possible SculptureWalk Sioux Falls could have? And, what does that look like? Is it more sculptures? Is it fewer pieces, but maybe more walkable? Is it, break it into 4 or 5 sections? We don't know. We'll have to see, but we're kind of looking for input on that. And we'd love to hear people's ideas about, what could we do to make it better? Yeah. I love your initial description of an outdoor art gallery. You just sort of remove the museum and the walls. They don't have to deal with road construction.
True.
You do.
Yes.
Yes. And that is a real factor. And it's not terribly easy to move these massive granite stones,
right?
Which are probably several thousand pounds each.
Yeah. The stones weigh several thousand pounds. You and I aren't going to go out and just, scooch one down the street at all. So
no, absolutely not. Yeah. I'm too soft for that. So
and I am as well. So.
Yeah. Well, just speaking of, making it the best possible version of it, SculptureWalk has been named a couple different places as the largest annually rotating sculpture program in the entire country. What makes Sioux Falls' program stand out? Why is it so special? I think part of it is we've just got this really great welcoming downtown area that just sets it up. Here's your 20.
So nicely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. But it grew kind of organically just into something that was big. we're no longer technically the largest in the country.
Oh, okay.
La Crosse has more, but they're spread way out, and it's not all. It's certainly not a walkable program. Which ours is a hike if you want to walk the whole 80 pieces, but you'll get your steps in that day. But it is still one of the biggest and really one of the strongest.
Yeah, I actually love that the board, and you've already articulated it a couple times on this episode, but that more is not always the goal, and that's not always the definition of better.
Right. Yeah.
It could be 60 pieces, and they're just incredible. Or we're wider reaching and have more international artists. I know in the past we've had artists from
artists
8 different countries.
Yeah, from Italy and Belgium and China and Canada all the time. And I think there's 4 different artists from Canada on the walk this year. And one of those, I count him as being from Ukraine because he grew up there. So, we're going to check that box and say we have somebody from Ukraine too. So
is this the same one that was involved several years ago?
Yep.
Very good.
He's been around for many years and keeps coming back, and he's just an awesome guy.
Yeah. I took a little hiatus from my time with SculptureWalk, but now I'm back involved with the board and gotten to get to volunteer with just install and all of that. And just hearing the comments from the artists about how incredible this program is, this community, just the vibrancy to it. It's amazing to hear it from outsiders. Yeah.
To hear the artists who many of them show their work in cities, all across the country, to hear them say, I love to come to Sioux Falls because you guys treat us really well. We put them up at a hotel downtown. We'll take them out and buy them beers at one of the local breweries. And then we have a little opening night reception where we celebrate the artists and the sponsors and really get a chance to thank them again just for bringing us their art.
Pretty special. Yeah. So let's go back to your economic benefit and economic development comments and maybe just your initial interest in art and how it grew over time. But can you just kind of talk about what impact does SculptureWalk have on local businesses, maybe tourism, vibrancy of a community?
Yeah, it's one of those things we've had trouble kind of quantifying exactly what the financial value is of having SculptureWalk in downtown Sioux Falls. But if we talk to the people that experience Sioux Falls, they say it is a big draw to help get people off the interstates and get them to stop and spend an extra day, spend a couple of extra hours even, and that benefits everybody in Sioux Falls. I know the Downtown Sioux Falls organization does research and what the foot traffic is and everything. We know that some of that foot traffic, at least, is coming to see the sculptures. I know when I talk to retailers, they love SculptureWalk because they see the benefit that it has with people. They're coming downtown to see the art, but they're also, popping into the fun little stores. So,
yeah, we'll get calls all the time asking about SculptureWalk. I don't think there's a clear understanding of who to call and whatnot, and that's great. We're happy to answer them. But even just at annual meeting, at every podcast episode almost that we've had, people naturally just bring it up. People they talk about SculptureWalk, they clearly value it. As far as foot traffic goes on our end, I think the benefit we see is just this feeling of safety.
Oh, absolutely.
It's producing just a different psychological experience for a person when they're walking throughout a downtown environment, urban. Yeah. It could be cold. It could be just concrete, but now all of a sudden you have bright yellow art.
Right. And it welcomes you a little bit. And I think there's a sense of safety because, well, I must be in a safe place because otherwise they wouldn't put this valuable piece of art here. Right. Yep. And so, even if it's a little bit subconscious, it certainly, does kind of help make people feel welcome and safe and all of those things.
Yeah. And then as far as dwell time goes, our research is showing, if you spend 91 minutes in a downtown or in an area anywhere, you're starting to spend a little more And so when our traffic is primarily visitor traffic, that's a big deal. And so that linger effect is really important, I think, for the economics.
Yeah.
So I think you can take credit for a lot.
At 91 minutes, you're going to need to take a little break and check out some of the other fun stuff.
Have a espresso tonic for the breaks.
Yeah, the espresso tonic at the breaks. If I give them a plug, does that mean maybe they'll give me a free one? Do you think?
I don't know. I hope they listen. I don't know.
All right,
let's give it a shot. Go ahead.
So yeah, if you're looking for a refreshing drink, the espresso tonic at the breaks is my fave.
And you've said that pretty openly and almost have taken out a billboard, I think. Advertologist.
I am constantly promoting that beverage. So
I love that. Now SculptureWalk has been working really hard to add new ways for people to experience the walk, including audio tours. And you've mentioned tours. There's something called SculptureWalk, Sculpture Talks.
Yep.
It sounds like there's an ad guy behind some of these things, but
yeah, this year, the day after everything was installed, we did a sculpture talk, SculptureWalk Sculpture Talk at Startup Sioux Falls, and had 3 artists of kind of varying backgrounds and from around the country, one from Minneapolis, one from Wisconsin, and one from Utah. Just talk about their process and talk about the different materials that they use and where the ideas come from, and how do you sort through all of the myriad of ideas that you get to say, these are the 3 I'm going to be able to produce this year, So that was a lot of fun. We've also got an audio tour, and you can just scan a little QR code on the pedestals of the sculptures and give the audio tour a listen. That was a nice addition a couple of years ago. And, we get a lot of positive comments about that. And then we do book some tours for groups. We've done a group with of Girl Scouts already this year. We've got this group from Lincoln, Nebraska coming tomorrow. We've got a couple lined up with the Downtown Residents Association, which I think will be kind of fun. They'll have they walk past these sculptures every day, and hopefully we can answer some questions that they might have as well. And you can just sign up for those on the SculptureWalk website, and it might be me or another board member or one of the curators from the pavilion who actually give the tour. But hopefully you'll learn a little something too.
Yeah, I've noticed. I think it was just maybe last weekend, family and I were sitting on, for instance, patio, having a coffee, watching, and it must have been during the week because it looked like a daycare group that was doing SculptureWalk with their teachers. It was little kids, and they had the brochures in their hands. And it was just incredible to see just the gamut of ages that participate in this program. And I think it speaks to your accessibility.
Yeah. And we do see, young groups like that. And then, we're doing a group from one of the retirement communities. Touchmark is coming down. And,
awesome.
We know that they tell us we can't walk the whole walk. We're going to walk a couple of blocks, so we'll see, a few key pieces and get them back on the bus home. But then we're going to follow that up with a kind of a virtual tour at the facility where we can go in and talk about some of the things and show photos of the sculptures for the people who just couldn't get out and do the walk. So
yeah, I found if you can take a tour, I would. I have found when you get to meet the artists or talk to anyone that's involved, then it just becomes a little more personal. It's a little bit less like you just can't walk right by it anymore. No.
And some of these artists, and you've gotten to know some of them over the years, are just the greatest people. There's a guy who does these stone pieces who I swear is the happiest human on earth. Yeah, he's Gideon. He's always got a big smile. And one of his pieces got damaged last year by a vandal. And when I talked to him about it this year, he just said, but no one was hurt. He wasn't concerned about his art. He was concerned that someone might have been hurt when it got knocked over.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that just showed his heart. It was great.
Yeah. Well, to close this out, when you look ahead 5 or 10 years, what excites you most about the future of public art in Sioux Falls, and how can the community support that?
I think there are some really cool things outlined in this new arts and culture plan that literally is the ink is still wet, I think. And if some of those ideas can really come to fruition with more spaces for people to make art, more spaces for small organizations to do rehearsals, to do performances, and just more opportunities like that. And then as that happens, hopefully we as an art community, whether it's, SculptureWalk or the Watering Can or one of the small theater groups or the Levitt, if those groups can work together, I think we can really just build on this synergy. It's not going to be, 1 + 1 = 2. It'll be 1 + 1 + 1 = 42. And we just gotta bring everybody to the table and let's all work together to improve the public art.
I love that. Yeah. Especially as downtown is about to expand east and northeast with all this Smithfield talk. I think art has to be part of the conversation.
Art definitely should be a part of that conversation. And I'm sure it will be.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Jim, thank you so much for joining Hello Downtown.
Thank you.
You are listening to Hello Downtown, a podcast by Downtown Sioux Falls Incorporated. I'm Brandon Hansen.
I'm Taryn Sietsema with Downtown Sioux Falls. Here is today's member moment. Hello, everyone. Today I am joined by Maureen Ohm from Market Beat. Maureen is the Director of Community Relations and Executive Assistant to the founder. Hello, Maureen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us today.
Happy
Glad
to be
have
here.
you on. Are you ready to get into it?
I sure am.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Describe your business in 5 words or less.
Market Beat empowers individual investors.
Oh, I love that. Just short and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And is exactly what you do.
1 word to spare.
Okay, love it. Okay, number 2, this or that. Riverfest or Parade of Lights?
Okay, this is seriously hard for me. So I am not just going to answer this simply. Since I must answer, I'm going to say Riverfest.
Yep.
I'm a little biased because I worked at Downtown Sioux Falls when we created Riverfest.
Yes.
Also, the way that it has evolved has been really great on the Sharapa campus.
Yeah.
If you haven't attended recently, you must.
Agree.
The campus is so great for a connected event, yet with separate areas of things going on.
I agree completely.
But hold on. We still have to talk about the Parade of Lights because it's so special. Realistically, I'm more likely to make it to Riverfest because sometimes I'm traveling out of town for the Parade of Lights.
Right.
And let's be real, weather's a factor as well.
It is.
But you have to get over that weather factor sometime and just show up if you haven't.
We're
been
hardy
there.
people.
It's so special. It's like,
And honestly, last year we had snow, but it cleared up and
So
it was
pretty.
so beautiful.
yes.
So
And it's kind of like a beautiful tear jerker. Like you reign in the holiday season and you feel everything in your heart.
It's very true. I love that. Summer patio drinks or winter cozy cocktails?
Oh, summer patio drinks.
Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that downtown, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Agree. Number 3, what's your go-to downtown guilty pleasure? A coffee drink, snack, hidden gem, or a little routine that you can't resist?
There is one thing that I would clearly define as my downtown guilty pleasure, and that is the Cafea iced caramel latte. So they make their own caramel there, house-made caramel, and you can tell this is not similar to having like the syrup pumped into your drink. Like you can just taste the caramel. Even though it's liquid, it's like it's almost not. And but I also have to give a shout out. Really, I'm a regular at Queen City Bakery.
Yes.
And the iced beverage there that's amazing is called the Best Drink Ever. I probably get that more often than the
Nice.
caramel latte at Cafea. But when I think guilty pleasure, I can taste that caramel.
Yeah, no, cafe is great. I also love the coconut cloud
I haven't had it.
from Queen City.
Oh,
Yes.
tell me more about
Try
that
it
one.
sometime. It's great. Actually, Melanie, our marketing manager, introduced me to it.
So that's an iced beverage?
I get it iced. Yes.
Okay.
It's excellent.
All right.
Now you can try it and tell me if you hate it or love it. Number 4, if downtown Sioux Falls had a mascot, what would it be?
Okay, this is truly a hard question.
I know.
This is so hard. I do not have a good answer. I'm going to answer it and then I'm going to make you answer it.
Oh my God. Okay, what's your answer?
Well, because you have to have a better answer than me. Okay, all I can picture is like a waterfall. And so it's like a walking waterfall. I don't know. That's like the falls are the most iconic thing probably about downtown. No. I don't love the answer because I kind of wanted to think of something that's maybe like retail related.
Yeah.
But I think a brick would be a bad mascot.
Yeah. A historic brick or Sioux quartzite could be our mascot.
So what's your answer?
I don't really have a good answer either. I think it was Tammy Brown that said the ambassadors. And I kind of I obviously identify with that being part of downtown Sioux Falls, but also I think she said she didn't want to lessen their role, but I don't think it lessens the role.
No.
So for me, it's just, that's probably a team thing, but also the falls are huge. The river. I mean, we have so many people that say that too. So I mean, those are just the standard downtown landmarks that we all love. So it makes sense. It's a tough question. That's why it's on here.
The first thing I thought of was literally probably because I used to work for DTSF was like an actual red and white circle.
Yes.
Like a mascot walking around who's literally the DTSF logo.
Love that. Okay. I mean, we could try that too, right? Doesn't hurt. Okay. Last question. Are you ready for this? Yeah. Okay. For people walking into your business for the first time, what's one key thing they should know about Market Beat?
So I'm going to answer this probably a little differently as well, because we're really not a business people walk into.
Right.
We're a website that people use.
Yeah.
And so you're not walking into our business. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of common misconceptions. So Beat. People think marketing. Oh, this must be a marketing agency. Well, we're not. We're not a marketing agency. Oh yeah. It's a common misconception.
Okay.
So then when we explain a little bit more about what we do, we aggregate data for individual stock investors to utilize when they're making their own trading decisions. The next thing that people think is that we handle people's money for trading, which is also very much not the case.
Interesting.
We don't do that at all. So that's just to address 2 very common misconceptions.
Yeah.
And so then finally, just to reiterate, we are a website and an email newsletter that individual investors utilize when they're making their own trading decisions.
Yep. Which is so important. But I also want to highlight all the good philanthropy work that Market Beat does for Sioux Falls in general. And obviously for downtown Sioux Falls too. You guys are great partners, you're visionary members, but I just think of all of the nonprofits that you guys support on a yearly basis. And it's mind blowing to me. And so I think for me, you guys are just so philanthropically minded that I think that that's just awesome. And we're very lucky to have you as part of Sioux Falls and specifically downtown Sioux Falls.
Yeah. Well, the best part of my job and one of the biggest part of my jobs is being involved with our philanthropy. And we do try to keep it extremely local. So every nonprofit that we support is either based in Sioux Falls or is specifically supporting Eastern South Dakota. And so and downtown has been a big focus of that as well. Yeah. Like our Levitt sponsorship, our DTSF membership, things like that. We love being involved in the community.
Well, we appreciate it. And thank you so much for taking time to come on the podcast.
Thank you.
This is Hello Downtown.
Downtown Open Streets is back. Join us this summer as we create a car-free community playground with 4 family-friendly events at the start of each month.
Find more about Open Streets and all events in downtown Sioux Falls at our website, dtsf.com. dtsf.com.